What is the best junior stocks and shares ISA to use in 2025? There are many things to consider when opening a junior ISA or JISA, depending on how you're planning to invest inside of it, and this video will give you the best options on the market whether you want to invest into funds or stocks, and we'll even look at a few other options so you can work out which junior stocks and shares ISA will be the best fit for you and the child you're saving for. It's important to note that all of the brokers mentioned in this video are FCA regulated and nothing should be taken as financial advice. I'm simply giving you an overview of each broker's offerings for guidance purposes. A junior ISA is simply an ISA account for someone under the age of 18. You get all of the same tax benefits as a regular ISA, but the child who it's set up for won't have access to the money in the account until they turn 18. Annual deposits are capped at £9,000 at the time of recording, though ISA limits are always subject to change. So, who are the best providers that we could find? At the time of recording this video, Hargreaves Lansdown are the cheapest broker on our list, as they charge no fees at all within their junior stocks and shares ISA. This means there are no account fees, no trading fees for ETFs, mutual funds, individual stocks, bonds, or gilts, and no other fees to consider when using the account like deposit or withdrawal fees either. While their adult accounts are certainly not the cheapest in terms of charges you'll pay, this has no impact on the junior account whatsoever, making them a completely free option to go with. You will still pay fund fees and applicable taxes like stamp duty if buying individual shares, but this money doesn't go into Hargreaves Lansdown or HL. HL are also one of the largest brokers in the UK with a long-standing reputation in the financial sector, and they provide excellent customer service from our experience, which is definitely an important factor for some people. And there isn't a great barrier to entry either, as you can choose to invest a lump sum of £100 to set up your account, or you can invest £25 every month to make things a little cheaper. The only real downside to HL is that their platform is not exactly straightforward and could be confusing for a beginner investor. But we have a specific guide for setting up a junior stocks and shares ISA with HL that I'll link in the description below. The next broker we've included is just behind Hargreaves Lansdown in terms of price, as they don't charge any account fees on their junior account, but there are some small trading fees that you will incur, and this is with Fidelity. When investing inside a junior stocks and shares ISA with Fidelity, you'll need to pay a £7.50 charge when buying shares or ETFs, but you can reduce this down to £1.50 if you invest through their regular investing plan. Also, if you plan to only invest into more traditional index funds, also known as mutual funds, then there is no dealing fee for doing this. So you could use this junior stocks and shares ISA without paying Fidelity anything if mutual funds is what you want to invest into. So, depending on how you plan to invest, this account can potentially be the joint cheapest on the market at the time of this video being published. But now we'll look at some options that are still cheap, but might suit your needs better if you want to invest in different ways. Vanguard's junior ISA is currently one of the cheaper options out there, as they charge a 0.15% annual fee capped at £375 at the time of recording. So if you have £10,000 invested, you would pay £15 in fees per year. The main selling point of a Vanguard junior stocks and shares ISA is in the broker themselves. Vanguard provide funds that millions of people invest their money into and are one of the longest standing brokers on the market today. And to some people, reputation will be a big factor. So if that's high up on your list of priorities, then Vanguard could be the one to consider. They don't charge additional fees outside the 0.15%, which does help make them cheaper when compared to other brokers that we'll cover later in this video. But if cost is your only concern, then you might prefer the first two brokers that we've already mentioned. Vanguard also aren't as accessible as these two, as they have a minimum investment amount of either £500 as a lump sum or £100 a month, so it really does depend on what your priorities are when choosing who to open a junior stocks and shares ISA with. Vanguard have recently hiked their minimum fees, which has really affected smaller investors, but this doesn't apply to junior accounts, so they're still competitive in this area. Strangely though, you can often buy Vanguard funds cheaper on other platforms, and this is the case with their JISA as well. Interactive Investor is our next pick, but their situation is slightly more complicated when it comes to fees. If you're an existing Interactive Investor customer and you're on the Investor plan, currently costing £11.99 a month, or Super Investor plan, currently costing £19.99 a month, you will already be able to add multiple junior ISAs within your account, one for every child, without incurring any additional account fees. So if you were to have all of your investment accounts with them, it can sometimes work out to be pretty cost effective. But if you were only to use them for your JISA, then they certainly are on the more expensive side. When it comes to their trading fees, you get free regular investing and your first trade or two free each month depending on your plan. So if you're looking to make one investment per month into an ETF, mutual fund, or a specific share, then you can avoid paying trading fees entirely. Be wary of their FX fees though, which can be really high. They're currently sat at 1.5%, so something to bear in mind if you're looking to buy investments that aren't priced in Great British pounds. If you want to buy multiple UK and US stocks and shares each month, you will pay £3.99 each time when your free trades are used up. You can also invest with a minimum investment of £25, so it's pretty accessible to get up and running. Many people like Interactive Investor for their high level of customer service. Also for the fact that the monthly fees come out of your bank account and not your investment portfolio. However, it's worth noting that while this can help improve the effects of compounding by keeping the money more in your portfolio, it technically means you're investing more money as well. Fees might not be the only thing you're looking for when choosing a provider, but they do make a big difference, which is why we've highlighted the brokers we have on this list. However, I'll quickly run through some of the other choices you have and why we chose not to mention them earlier in the video. AJ Bell. Firstly, AJ Bell have a set fund dealing fee of £1.50 and a share dealing fee of between £3.50 and £5, making them an expensive option if you're planning on buying multiple funds or shares a month. And they have a fairly hefty 0.25% annual fee on top of that, which makes them more expensive than all of our top picks except for Interactive Investor. Although account fees on shares and ETFs are capped at £3.50 per month within the JISA. Nutmeg have a similar issue when it comes to annual fees, except theirs is almost double AJ Bell's at a minimum, sitting at 0.45% for passive investments and then 0.75% for actively managed accounts. And this is why they might not be as attractive of an option as the others that we've mentioned. Moneybox match Nutmeg's 0.45% annual fee and raise it a £1 per month account fee on top of that. So if you plan on managing your own account, Moneybox can get very expensive as your balance grows. We considered Charles Stanley Direct as their 0.35% annual fee can be lowered through their loyalty plan, but even then it's on the more expensive end amongst all of the other options. Finally, we also looked at Best Invest, Money Farm, and Wealthify, but for various reasons they are all much more expensive than the options we've highlighted earlier in the video. With all of that said, you might like one of these brokers over another for a reason that we haven't even given in this video, which is why it is always important that you do your own research before deciding where to invest your money. This video only aims to help give you some options and explain what they have going for them. They're not recommendations. Now you know some of the best options for your child's investment account, let's take a look at some of the best options for your own stocks and shares ISA by watching the video that's on screen now.